Good evening and welcome to our tonight's reading. My name is Karen McCadden and I'm the Associate Director for the Conference on Poetry and Teaching at the Frost Place, where we are really honored to have Julia Bouwsma read for us tonight. She's one of our visiting faculty at the conference this year, and I'm very honored to introduce her to you this evening. Julia Bouwsma lives off the grid in the mountains of Western Maine, where she is a poet, homesteader, editor, teacher, small town librarian, and Maine's 6th Poet Laureate. Bouwsma is the author of 2 poetry collections, Maiden and Work by Bloodlight, both of which received the Maine Literary Award for Poetry Book. Other honors include the Poets Out Loud Prize, the Cider Press Review Book Award, and residency fellowships from the Virginia Center for Creative Arts, Vermont Studio Center, Monson Arts, and Annex Arts. Bouwsma's poems and book reviews can be found in Cutthroat, Green Mountains Review, Poetry Daily, Poetry Northwest, Rhino, River Styx, and other journals. She currently serves as the library director for Webster Library in Kingfield, Maine, and teaches in the creative writing department at the University of Maine, Farmington. Julia, we're so excited to hear you read tonight. Welcome.
Thank you so much, Karen. Thank you. I'm so excited to be here with you all tonight. I'm going to read a crown of sonnets that is in my new manuscript in progress. And because I think it appropriately encapsulates some of the rage that many of us have been experiencing this weekend. I wrote this the first version of this came to life in early 2017. My grandmother passed away on January 30th, 2017, and I wrote this as an elegy for her in the wake of her death. But I first wrote it as about a 4-page poem, and then after several years, it reshaped itself as this heroic sonnet crown. So this is probably the longest time I've ever spent on a poem, maybe 2 or 3 years, with many starts and stops. But here we go. I'm okay, but the country is not. I'm okay, but the country is not, says my grandmother before she dies, before she closes her eyes and sleeps the sleep from which one does not rise. Breath curdles what's left of the words in her, the ocean her lungs will become, drift down river, familiar current of language, swirling ink-stained skies. But at the end, it's calm. A blanket unfurls. She lies still, a raft in an eddy, cocooned in cotton departure. On the far edge of the bed, a scarred shoreline waits. There's a map of ruin inside each veined limb, trails of bruises you can follow back. Once a girl played a finger piano in a white-colored dress, and spades of curls exploded from her skull like scales as she laughed at the music her own fingers made. Follow the music her fingers made. This is how we slip into memory. Laugh with her. This is how we fall. I remember everything, she says, face to the wall. It's a problem. Her voice is frayed, a leaking ship. The newspapers pile up unread. She doesn't flip a page, afraid the words she will not say. And yet we see her see the people forgetting, unspooling a century, have a fascia invisible braid, coiling strip that ties our tongues to our hearts is tightening. Never forget. Pink membrane, shard of ash she taught me to carry under its sugar cube, our sweet defiance. Now mouths hang open as we speak, even swallowing. What Jew goes easy. She tosses, turns, is fitful, caught, and not until the final day does she succumb to silence. On the final day, she succumbs to silence's drip, but still, at her own funeral, she speaks. The rabbi calls it a first. My uncle holds his iPhone up high and we huddle in close. Listen as she recites with slurred lip, Carlisle, waterlogged lungs swimming to the sodden tip of her tongue. Here hath been dawning another blue day, then think, will thou let it slip useless away? I fold my printed transliterated page of Kaddish, grip these words I don't know, fold and fold until it is a white square at the bottom of my pocket. Promise or accusation I hold tight to my fist. Later, in the dead winter leaf litter of my mother's yard, I scroll headlines, weep, bite the riddle half cracked in my cheek. What slips and keeps on slipping? I am a hopeless clock of knuckles and grief. Clot of knuckles and grief. A friend slips her hand into mine. We walk 2 miles to the Lincoln Memorial. We climb stone over stone over stone. Lincoln towers above us, a pale and silent boulder. His lips are Georgia marble now, left fist a quiver of rage, right hand flat as sorrow. He's gone to bone, shoulders back. I try to be brave. I am the captain of my soul. I thunder up to him. Henley for grandfather, Carlisle for her. But these poets are too dead for the dead. And I'm drunk on gin, a trickle of pee in my tights. I'm okay. It's a child's lie, a self-soothe, but maybe she just meant we've no time left for private pain. We ancestors of the fled who walk here on shadows of ghosts turn our faces away when we arrive, our iron shoes bolted to riverbank cement. Iron shoes bolted to riverbank cement, or wherever you left your dead. Most of us can't name the spot. Absence, a matryoshka, you open the doll and not. Inside each emptiness is an emptiness and then another. Doll I was with dark eyes in the arms of my grandmother, who loved me but carried my forgetting as a fraught chain of shame, as does my mother still. She does not know her Jewish history. She wrote of me while under prednisone's sharp clasp, a frenzy of writing the first time her kidneys failed. The eggshell of her hospital windowsill crawling a cursive army of ballpoint ants. Language, it spilled from her everywhere, anxious heat of the sublime. Her script tremored with effort, her words gathered as gravel into a moraine. I'll never slip, and she has the resume to prove it. Moraine as a resume inside my bones. Proof I'll never slip too far away. Because if there's ruin, it's been there all along. You can't inherit mutilation. We carry it in our bodies. Song we pass through families, cell by cell. Stories you can't clip the tails off of. Like August Weismann, who went on to snip 68 mice in an experiment 5 generations strong, 901 pinkies, each with a tail as long as the last, one amputation after another, simply to strip claims of Jews born without foreskins. Grandma, she studied this in dusty libraries through charts and diagrams, diaries and portraits, the quest of men, their dogged work to discover in the cell a material theory of heredity in these sometimes bewildering times, in these breached dams of centuries, in this smooth space curve we're born to torque. Smooth as the space we're born to, we torque the Mobius strip of memory. Even before helix was a word, we uncoiled. Inside each story my grandmother told, there was another to allied, and the silent stories echoed loudest. Now our stewardship empties her house of all refrains. Another armful, another trip to the trash or car. Ruin spreads the floor. She leaves a landslide of choruses behind, belly sagging shelves, books we divide and sort, towers of papers lining the study walls, a ship in a bottle, her mother's tablecloth, mothballs in the folds. Every birthday card ever sent, a file marked Julia in the back of the antique writing desk, poems, programs, the mute manila pride that yellows in solitude, that quietly holds me as we make the final arrangements, as we clean and pack, our heels against the kitchen slate, so high and resolute. Our heels sing out against her kitchen slate. Take silverware, the floral couch, blankets, that red vase I bought in Venice. Take the painting of the cobbler and his apprentice in their gilded frame. Take it, even the blue dinner plates, each of her cells were made of words. Now her words ache themselves into my skin. Body braids a noose of lace, quivering rope of sinew and caul we can't cut loose. Instead, we pull taut, we let silence cinch us. Never, ever has it been okay. America is its own damaged DNA. It circles in on itself until the throat catches inside the throat. It isn't. All I've got is language now. What's sung, what slips, rain stained, what slips, spills my lips, words they phalanx my fists with ink, and still she slips, no quote soothes my rage. Let me fall forever if I unstring my tongue. Unstrung, it gives me comfort, our shared loose tongue. I think before I speak, then stumble the spiral staircase, tumble down, left foot, loose foot, the rights to bite, a tablespoons for eating tables with. The blue plate shattered, then the coffee cup. I tried to glue it before I threw it away. I write these poems to braid you a daisy chain, twist you a helix of fairy lights, line your path with brown-haired girls, their linked arms in fleur-de-lis and silver snaps. But just look at these hands. I'm shit with a tape measure, worse with a hammer. Mornings I lie in my bed, rectangles on all sides, and bang the walls with my fists. These sonnets are not what I thought. I'm sorry I built you a box when all I wanted was to blossom you back. All I wanted was to blossom you back. You who once lost a year swallowed to hospital, dialysis, wheelchair, walker, obedient mouth opening for the spoon. You who were there, not there. We stuck honeysuckle under your nose and you opened your eyes, mumbled lovely, closed again. We recited poetry, Longfellow for the fourth, acted out Paul Revere's Ride, pretended to gallop our imaginary horse. You who stayed gone, shut tight. You who came back one day just like that, blinked twice, remembered nothing. Who smiled girlish and fierce, then declared the turkey too salty. You always did talk too loud. Your hearing was shot. I egged you on in public the last time I saw you, election day, lunch after voting. Horrible man, you bellowed, and the next table laughed. But when the results came in, all you said was, I've seen this before. I've seen this before. One by one, the results come in. First a mild stroke, next kidneys wither. A fascist bloviates on the screen. A grandmother extends her left arm to the phlebotomist's glove. A dark ocean of bruise gathers tidal beneath her skin. Each morning's headlines are another fist. I wake to the wood stove's cold belly and scrape the firebox clean. Sunrise comes for me through the trees and her bright wound demands, get up, get dressed. In the bathroom, I bare my teeth to the mirror, grip the porcelain. Familiar doesn't make easier, but memory is a muscle. I let it hold me when my knees go loose. Inheritance means I will bend and lace my boots. I will pick up my shovel and teeter my blade into frosted root rot. I will tuck late daffodil bulbs between clay-packed stones, and some will die and some will bloom. Some will die before spring, and some will bloom ragged and yellow, orange-frilled mouths hungry for a milder wind, double heads casting in different directions. I weave the garden rows, tending. I wander the rocky path, and the thud of my footsteps echoes me. Once I breathed in the sharp green air and thought work will set me free. Then I remembered the iron gates that spell those words, language like chromosomes set deep in the bones. A hole is for digging. I dig you another poem, then descend into the poem to wait. Each hole leads to another hole, half mitzvah, half grave. They gather in circles, they've helixed the hillside. Half the time I'm afraid of where my feet will take me. My mother furrows as she reads the news. We're going backward. I press my nose to the earth. Wherever we end up, we'll bring our shovels. Wherever we go, there'll be music there. Bring your shovel. Wherever we go, there'll be music there. The ping of each small stone hitting the blade, molecular vibration, each unspoken thing. If we dig the hole deeper, what will we hit? Water, ledge rocks, some molten core, some crack of light, primordial steam. Seen this before, then maybe so have I. There is always a body of water in my dreams, a leaf-stained reservoir I swim through with child limbs and sodden undershirt, panic unfurling from the bottomless bottom to grab a hold of my foot. The new studies report that traumatized mice give birth to fear 3 generations out. If I tangle the science to suit the poem, forgive me. Drawing this maze is the only way I know to spiral myself free. Scribbles and crossouts, but if a damaged crown is all I can give you, then here it is. If a damaged crown is all I can give you, then here it is. Our gnarled ligature glistens splayed. Why do I say membrane when I mean trauma? Why do I only say I miss you? What I mean is America is a throat-blooming bruise, an ever-winding sheet. And I am not the only one still combing an unkempt car, trying to find my misplaced hands in the ashtray. I am not the only one singing backwards into an ancestor's grave. The Kaddish makes no mention of death, just extends itself infinitely, peels our tears from the earth, uncoils them as blessings into the air. When I say I'm glad you're not here to witness this, I mean I wish I knew the difference between mourning and meat. When I say I keep my rage deep in my teeth, I mean, grandmother, I'm okay, but the country is not. I'm okay, but the country is not, says my grandmother, before we follow the music her fingers made. This is how we slip into memory, how we fall. The final day she succumbs to silence leaves me a hopeless clot of knuckles and grief. A friend slips my iron shoes off. Now they're bolted to riverbank cement. Where have we left our dead? Moraine is a resume inside my bones, proof I'll never slip. Smooth as the space we're born to, we torque the Mobius strip. Our heels sing against the kitchen slate, blue plates, silverware, unstrung. It gives me comfort, our shared loose tongue. All I wanted was to blossom you back, but the results come in one by one, and I've seen this before. Some will die before spring. Some will bloom ragged and yellow. Bring your shovel. Wherever we go, there'll be music there. If a damaged crown is all I can give you, then here it is. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Julia, for such a beautiful reading. And thank you all for being with us this evening. Take care of yourselves.